Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K. Welcome everyone to the December installment of Smash That Small Paper Pad Collab hosted by Deb Houck. I'm hoping all of you guys had a wonderful holiday. And I'm here just to kind of do a recap and show you a couple of things that I created this month. I didn't get a lot done this month. It was kind of another bad month for our family. We had another death in the family, and so that kind of sidetracked me from getting everything done that I had wanted to with some of my paper pads. I had to take a few days off to go and travel and pick up another family member and bring them back for the funeral, and then also bring them back. So that took a little bit of time. And so I did, again, like I said, want to do a recap of all my paper pads, where I'm at, and also the couple things I did make this month. And so I did have a couple of pads, and I didn't pull them out that I had shown a few videos ago that I was going to work on, and I didn't even have a chance to start those because I do like to work with more than one paper pad at a time. But I did end up smashing my Christmas pads, and again, these started off with not being full paper sets. This one had 19, and I did smash the whole thing. There might be a couple of these little pieces, like little cutouts that I just threw in with my junk journal pile, but I did smash most of the paper and all of the paper scraps. And then this one also, I started off with 11 pieces, and then when I was pulling out some of my other Christmas stuff, I actually found 15 more pieces that belonged to this paper collection, so I also worked with both of those. So I did end up smashing both the 11 and the 15 pieces that I had from this paper pad. I did work a little bit with this authentique one, and this one was called Alpine, and it had the really cute greens and blue papers in here, and I do have 17 left, but it did start off with a full paper pad, so I did get half of the paper pad done, I guess. And I've been slowly working on this one, and if you guys recall, I started off with 31 pieces plus another 28 that came from another 7 Gypsies paper pad that was 8 by 8. So I started off with 59 sheets, and out of those I have 20 full sheets left. I do have a couple of scraps in there, and I'll continue to work on this one with some of my junk journal stuff because I think this is a perfect paper pad to make junk journal embellishments out of. So I didn't finish that one. I had hoped, I had some plans of some things that I was going to make with this one this month, but like I said, life just got in the way. And I also forgot to mention that I also smashed this paper pad from Authentique. It was the Classic Christmas, and it had 24 sheets, and I started with all 24, and I did smash that whole paper pad. I might have a couple of paper scraps left, but for all purposes, it was smashed. And then for a recap from the past previous months of how many I did smash this whole paper pad, this Authentique Halloween one. I also smashed what was left in this basic gray one, so I smashed 27 sheets on this one. Also this Kaiser Craft one, I had 10 pieces and I smashed that one. Also this Kaiser Craft one, I had 13 in there and I smashed that one. I might just have a couple of little cutouts that I still need to cut out and add to my junk journal stuff. I did smash this romance novel, and I started off with 41 sheets in that one, and that was a 48 sheet pad. And this Bo Bunny one, Secret Garden Collection, I did smash that one. Also, I smashed this Bo Bunny Butterflies Kisses one. This Kaiser Craft Time Machine, I smashed that one this past year. I also smashed this Downton Abbey one. I made a lot of junk journal embellishments because I want to make a journal. I do have, like I said, a couple of sheets left from this one, but I'm going to use them to make tags to go into those embellishments that I made earlier this year. And this is on my docket to start working on. I found the perfect digital kit to kind of coordinate with it. So if you guys come back and check out my channel next year, I will have some more, I will have a journal that I used all these embellishments in if you want to see how I actually used the items that I created with this paper pad. And then the last paper pad that I worked with was this Graphic 45 one, the Children's Hour, and I used 3/4 of it. I again stopped on this one. I lost my mojo with it. I had been making cards every month. At least, you know, one of the items I made every month from this card was I was making cards for my grandma, and she had passed away. So then I kind of lost my mojo. So that happened, I guess, back in August. So I didn't do August, September, October, November, December. And maybe I will revisit this paper pad down the road when I have to make specific birthday cards for people that have birthdays in those months. So I, you know, got most of that one smashed. So I think I did pretty good this past year for how many I've worked with and how much I have left of them. I think I did pretty good with that. And then I did want to show you what I did create with those Christmas paper pads. A lot of my cards I've already sent out. But I did keep a couple of them, and just because I usually have a few extra people that I need to send out that I wasn't planning for. So I usually keep a couple cards. And so I just wanted to show you, I created all of them the same. They just had different papers in them. And I did use all sorts of paper scraps, cardstock paper scraps in the black, the reds, and the greens, just to coordinate with these different cards, and then the whites and creams for the candles. So I did use a die cut, and that was one of the Hobby Lobby brands. I think it's Momenta, and it was just this little candle, and then it had the little leaves and the foliage and the holly leaves on it. And so again, I just used scrap black cardstock to create that, the white or off-white cardstock, and then I added a little bit of glitter to the top of the candle, and then I used different scraps again to die cut out the foliage and the little berries. And then on the back sides of this paper, the layering were the different pieces from the paper pads, so I just used up those paper pads. And so here was just some of the ones that were left. This one I ran out of small enough scraps, so I didn't make any of the holly leaves on that one, but here was some of the ones that I had left. And then I didn't, on the inside, this one says Season's Greetings. So I had that, or else I also stamped a sentiment, and I can't remember which company, Simple Stories, it was a Simple Stories rubber stamp, and it said, "Sending love to you this Christmas." And so I did post or stamp that in some of the cards that I sent to some of my relatives that are also struggling, this month. So some of them I did stamp that sentiment, but otherwise the rest I used the Season's Greetings on the inside. And on a couple of them I was distracted and I forgot to add the candle down. And so what I was doing is I was just gluing the candle on the inside then, because a couple of them I got distracted on. So I forgot to add the candle when I was gluing stuff down. And so like I said, I just have the candle to glue on the inside of those ones. And so I made a ton of these cards. You know, it was probably 60, 70 cards. I didn't count, and I know I should have, but it was, like I said, it was just a bad month for me. And I did make, in one of my envelope series, if some of you that are into junk journals have been following along, I did have another one that I used some of those pieces of papers from some of those paper pads. So I had this one, which was kind of a fun one. And this one also got mixed in with some Simple Stories, I think, paper pads also. But this one I used some of the scraps. And this one had a couple of flips in it. There was a pocket here. And a journaling space here. This one I think I had a tuck spot right here. But I think this background paper right here came from one of those paper pads. Also, the little tab here, and so that's why I'm kind of showing it to you guys. And then also this paper right here, and then some of these cutouts right here were from some of those paper pads. And then the little scrap up there was on that one. So that was one of my ones from my envelope series, and I do have a tutorial on that if you haven't been following that series. I have a series of creating with envelopes, window envelopes, and so I had some different ideas for junk journals with that series. And so I used some of the scraps on that one. And then I already showed you guys these ones last month, but I added to them. Again, they were another creating with envelope series, and you had the little pullouts here. I ended up adding on the back sides of these, I ended up adding a piece of paper on the back, and then also making a flip for writing. And then so I used some of the scraps on these ones. And so I just wanted to show you guys that I did do that. You know, some of the cut apart things that were in those paper pads, I added to them. I'm not going to open these up and go into detail because I believe I showed them last month, but I just wanted to show you again that I had used some of those pieces on these ones. So again, kind of here's an overall view of all the paper pads that I've smashed or came pretty close to smashing this past year. I do want to thank all of you guys who have been following along on this collab, and also the other participants who are participating in the collab. I got so much inspiration from you guys. It was a really fun collab this past year to be a part of. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.